Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Pensacola, Florida, it's time for Pensacola Business Radio. Now, here are your Business Radio X hosts.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Keith Everett here, broadcasting live from our Pensacola studio, and I have a lot of letters in front of me. I have Marty and John here from the Northwest Florida
Area Agency on Aging and Disability Resource Center.
There you go. See, I told you there's a lot of letters. So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So let's just get right into all of this. Like, what does that mean?
Well, first of all, I'm with SHINE, which is a program that is free Medicare counseling. And we also have SMP, which is Senior Medicare Patrol. The agency is our parent agency, and it's a nonprofit that serves Northwest Florida. So I'm over the SHINE program in 4 counties: Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton. Now, what is SHINE is the next question. SHINE is the Florida SHIP program, which is a federal program that was set up to help seniors navigate the Medicare system. It can be quite complicated and very confusing, and lots of times they wind up talking to insurance salespeople that don't necessarily get them in the plan that they need to be in. SHINE is strictly volunteers, and they're highly educated in Medicare, and they cannot be insurance salespeople, and they're giving totally free, unbiased counseling to seniors. We literally deal with hundreds of people every month, and during open enrollment, which is October 15th through December 7th, we can easily deal with 1,000 during open enrollment. So that's what SHINE's about. Senior Medicare Patrol, SMP, is helping people with billing errors, billing issues, and making them aware of abuse and fraud that occurs in the Medicare system.
Which is a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I was sort of shocked. I went to a meeting in Orlando in October, and it adds up to $62 billion in 2017.
Wow. That is a lot.
It's huge.
So what do you do?
There's a task force at work to try to stop this fraud, but also our job is to educate seniors, for example, not to give out their Medicare numbers over the phone, to only give it to the doctor's office because their identities can be stolen. Billing issues, they can be double billed for items or billed for items they never received. That's a big con that goes on. We actually, in our local area, just had a case. I'm sure you saw it in the Pensacola News Journal. $8 million fraud case.
Yeah.
Local people. They scammed the local pharmacies in Santa Rosa and Escambia and so forth. And that ties in with what's happening with Medicare as well. That was a scam against TRICARE.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
to go
a lot of money.
Okay, so John, you're here for a reason, yeah?
Talk about the actual counsel.
Yeah, so
that we do.
How does it, aside from just obviously the monitoring and stuff, the real purpose in helping,
helping seniors when they become 65 and come on Medicare.
Yeah.
And
it's confusing, isn't it?
It is confusing, and most people are surprised to find out that there's more than one way to get you Medicare. So someone comes to us at 65, and one of the first decisions they have to make is exactly how are they going to get their Medicare. And so that's what we counselors do. We take them through there's 2 different methods. One is the original Medicare, and another thing is called Medicare Advantage. Quite different from each other, but both have advantages and disadvantages. And that's a little stunning to some people. So SHINE counselors will sit down and explain exactly how Medicare works. They will explain the advantages of each path, and we will try to guide the person new to Medicare into the proper approach for them, the proper coverage for them.
So it's not just an easy pick A or pick B.
It is not at all, and there's a lot of misconceptions about it. That Medicare is maybe free medical care. You hear about a lot. It's not so at all. Not close at all. There's no one size fit all with Medicare, and so that's what we do is we take people through it. And not to be wonky, but the one approach is something called Original Medicare, and that's the government-run single-payer system that you hear a lot about. The other way of getting your Medicare is through insurance companies, the ones you know about from probably working, Humana, Healthcare, WellCare, those. And they offer completely different types of plans, all-in-one plans that cover everything. And they are booming, as it turns out, because they are allowed to offer other things that Medicare doesn't, like maybe getting your teeth cleaned, maybe getting a gym membership. And so people new to Medicare look really hard at that. Now, I'm not saying that's the answer to everyone's approach, because some people like the Original Medicare, but we make the options available to them, and they talk about it, and we don't sell anything because we're volunteers. All we want to do is give them the information they need to make the right decision for their situation.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to get to know all this stuff enough to teach it?
I've been at it for 10 years. There for a while, I was a trainer. We used to travel around the state and train new volunteers. So to get to be a SHINE volunteer, I don't know if you're going to talk about this, Marty, but we have a regular course of study. There's 8 online courses followed by one in-house session, and then after that you set up with a mentor. I'm one of the mentors that train new volunteers, and you take the new volunteer under your wing, and he stays with you or she stays with you until they're ready to go. They think they have to be ready to go, and I think they have to be ready to go.
Got to hold their hand, huh? Yeah, okay.
It usually takes about 6 months. The training that they go through, it's very extensive, and then with the mentoring and everything, because there's so much to learn, it's overwhelming sometimes. So it usually takes them about 6 months before they're ready to cut loose. And even then, the mentors help them after that in being available to answer their questions, because things come up that they have no clue how to handle, and they always have that mentor they can fall back on to ask questions of. Right now, I've got about 15 volunteers in the 4 counties, and we're always needing more, especially in Walton County. I don't know how far you reach, but Walton
we
County,
go all the way out there. Yeah,
we desperately need Walton and Okaloosa.
So are these? Is it hard spots to fill, or is it just takes some dedication?
It takes some dedication because it's so involved. It takes some dedication to go through the training and so forth. And the Department of Elder Affairs is who I report to. They want a commitment of a minimum of 16 hours a month, which that's not too bad. 4 hours, every week. 16 hours a month, but they want a 2-year commitment. So it's something a volunteer has to, it's not like volunteering at the food bank.
Right.
It's just so much more involved in that.
Yeah.
And the type of people we need are ones that are computer literate and feel comfortable talking to people. And usually they have a good education background that they like to learn. They really like to learn. They like the challenge.
So, okay, so is that, I guess I see the Senior Medicare Patrol. So does all of that fold in together? Is all the training for one, can you go, is it one stop?
Basically, SHINE now is over Senior Medicare Patrol too. So basically with the knowledge they get from SHINE, they can work Senior Medicare Patrol too. But Senior Medicare Patrol goes into reporting issues, and one of the things we all do is give information to clients, or we call them beneficiaries, on scams that are going on right now. Like all the seniors across the country should have their new Medicare cards now, which that was a big thing because the old Medicare card numbers were your Social Security number. And identity theft was rampant among seniors, people stealing their identities because they had all their information by just getting that number. Well, the government changed all that and issued new Medicare cards to them that have an illogical number. And everybody across the United States that's on Medicare should have gotten a new card by now. I just want to make a point here. If they haven't gotten their new card, they need to contact Medicare, and I have the phone number. They need to contact Medicare and tell them that they didn't get their card. Usually it's an address issue. They might have, like we have people moving here from,
all over the place,
up north. And they haven't notified Medicare or Social Security yet of their new address. So, and
that's probably a place too where a lot of the scams can happen, right? Because they'll intercept it in the mail or whatever. So.
Right.
So a couple of things. One, if I need to get information to actually get enrolled, how do I find you?
Well, the local number 494-7101.
Okay, which is on here, so we're going to put that when we repost too.
Yeah.
And then if I want to learn and I want to be able to go help and teach, is the same number?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
for Marty,
850-494-7101.
Okay.
And they can ask for me if they need to talk to a counselor. They will just say, I want to talk to a SHINE counselor, and they'll be directed to our intake department, which will take some information on them and what they're specifically calling about. And they'll put it in the computer, and then that comes to my department, and they're assigned a counselor for whichever area they're in. If they're in Santa Rosa, they'll get a Santa Rosa counselor. If they're in Escambia, they get an Escambia County counselor.
So, and is the whole organization volunteer run?
I'm not.
Good for you. All right, good deal.
And my assistant's not. But everybody else is strictly volunteer.
The people who do the work.
Yeah.
Yes, the volunteers. They are tireless. And John is our senior most volunteer, and he has just been
He's the most tireless, huh?
Awesome man over the years, and he's helped thousands and thousands of people.
So do you need more volunteers now?
Yes.
Yeah, you can always use
them.
Yeah.
Anybody that's interested,
and so,
just call me.
What happens when you get out of Northwest Florida? What's the organization? Are there other ones like this across the state?
The SHINE program exists throughout the state of Florida. It's actually overseen by the Department of Elder Affairs of the state of Florida, and we have different areas. We're called PSA 1, but the next one over that includes Tallahassee is PSA 2.
Okay.
And so you've got it throughout Florida, and it's called SHINE. Now, if you go outside the state of Florida, it's called SHIP, SHIP. The SHIP program in most other states. It's just the SHIP acronym was already taken when they opened it up in Florida, and so they went with SHINE in Florida.
No, that works.
Yeah.
It is the Sunshine State, so fair enough. Well, okay, so all this is on the web too, right? So I can find everything that I need on the website and kind of do my own little research before maybe calling?
Yes. You can go to our website. It's the Florida website is floridashine.org, O-R-G.
Okay. And then the Northwest Florida one, because there's two, right? There's two.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
and it's all the letters.
Yeah, it's all the letters.
NWFLAAA.
Yes.
.org.
.org.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
right.
And when you at the phone numbers, are you guys there 9 to 5, or is it hit or miss? Or
well, I'm there, or somebody's there to take the call Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Okay.
The volunteers have their own hours. They set their own appointments and their own hours. So
must be nice, huh?
Yeah.
You should come to work whenever you want to.
Yeah, I always wanted to do that.
Yeah. Right. Now you get to when you retire.
I did want to mention, I wanted John to tell you a little bit about a program that is helping an awful lot of people in Escambia County, and it's the Extra Help Program, because they may not be able to afford their Medicare premium on their Part B, and a lot of seniors are surviving on Social Security of $600-700 a month, less than $1,500 a month. They may qualify for one of these programs. So I'd really like John to share a little bit about that with you.
Right. There's a couple of safety nets out there for people who don't have a lot of money, lower income people. One of them is with the Medicare Part D prescription drug plan. And if a person is below a certain income level, they can qualify for that, and they can get their medications at a very low copay.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, Medicare is, like I said, was not free. It has a premium, $135 a month. But again, if your income is below a certain level, Medicaid, partial Medicaid, kind of kicks in and will pay that $135 for you.
Right.
So it takes it off of that. And frankly, if your income is even lower, down around $1,000 a month, Medicaid will step in and pay all of your copays and deductibles for Medicare. Because as I said, Medicare is not free, not even close to free.
Yeah.
And so if the income is low enough, this safety net kicks in and takes care of that for people in that situation. It's excellent.
Which a lot of people probably don't know. So,
And,
but
we take care of that. We can do the applications for them. We can follow up for them. We can make sure it happens.
Yeah. How many people are you usually, I guess, processing, for lack of a better term, a week?
Well, typically, take the open season. That's a time when I talked about those two options on how you can get your Medicare. During the open season, which is between October 15th and December 7th, you can switch back and forth between those, whichever seems to be right for you, and we do that during that time. During that time, I personally will see 120 or 130 people for different movements back and forth. I work on Tuesdays every week, just one day a week during the rest of the year, and I usually six or seven people on that particular typical.
That's amazing.
The caseload.
So you come to work whenever you want, right?
Yeah. Almost.
You get to go home early too, don't you?
Yeah, whenever Marty calls.
Very cool. Well, I'll tell you what. So one more time, let's give them the website so they can find the information if they need to.
FloridaShine.org. O-R-G is the main SHINE website. And then the other website is NWFLAAA.org.
Awesome. And we'll repost those as well with links when we repost the article for today. So today you do get to kind of go home early from here because I won't keep you all day. So, but I do want to thank both of you all for coming in. And it seems to be that you're doing good work with something we need, here in the community. So, anything else that you guys want to go that we may have missed?
I think you covered most everything.
I think you've done this before.
In a nutshell.
Yeah, right? Yeah. When you get there, though, ladies and gentlemen, the book's like 400 pages long. So
exactly. Actually longer than that.
Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? So great. Okay, you guys, you can find us at Picola Radio X on Twitter. You can find us at Picola BRX on Facebook, or you can find us on our webpage at businessradiox.com, or you can find us on our live stream at businessradiox.live. And this has been Pensacola Business Radio, where business is good and your work matters. I want to thank everybody for listening today. My name is Keith Hilbert. This has been Pensacola Business Radio. You can find us at Picola Radio X on Twitter, Picola BRX on Facebook. You can find us on LinkedIn at businessradioxstudios.pensacola, or you can find us on Instagram at Pensacola Business Radio, or on our websites at businessradiox.com, or on our live feed at businessradiox.live. If you are interested in being a guest on Business Radio X, please visit either one of our sites or our social media sites to find a link to book your appearance. This has been Pensacola Business Radio, where business is good